supervisor only if he or she has the authority to make, and I quote, significant changes in employee status, hiring, firing, failing, promotions, reassignments, stuff like that. What this does actually is it lets a ton of people off the hook.
Yeah, I get
it. They can sexually harass people because maybe they don't have say in whether or not they could be fired, because a lot of people are actually fired by people in their HR offices, which may not even be at your location.
Yeah, and just sometimes people you don't want to be sexually harassed by anybody.
Yes.
Like even the person that's on equal level with you. I don't want you doing that. Right. I've said no. Stop. Yeah.
Mr. Sexual Harassment got to strike down protections against sexual harassment for everybody. Isn't that awesome?
Who could have predicted that?
Yeah, I know. Like everybody. So let's talk about his wife for a little bit because she sucks too. Well, I'll mention he's been married once before. So in 1971, he married his college sweetheart. They had one child named Amal. They separated in 81. They got divorced in 84. So he's been married once before. But Clarence Thomas met Virginia Ginni. She goes by Ginni Lamp, a lobbyist. She worked as an aide for a Republican congressman. They met at an anti-defamation league meeting in New York in 1986, and they hit it off right away.
Okay.
They were married the following year. And so here's a little bit about Ginni. During the 80s, she enrolled in LifeSpring. Do you remember LifeSpring?
No.
Okay. It was I'm going to put this in quotes, self-help course that later it was decided it was kind of a cult.
Like Landmark?
Basically. I think so, yes.
Okay.
She was super into it at first, and then she became very troubled by
because they allowed abortions.
Because they allowed abortions. No, because they she thought it had a cult-like mentality. So she dropped out, and she became very concerned about cults. Became like her jam. Like she's against cults, and I was like, sure,
me too.
It's fine. So 1985, Ginni Thomas takes on being a public advocate against cult activities. And she's going to conventions and doing all this stuff. And I just found that particularly hilarious because now she's like a Trumper. And I'm like, girl, you're in a fucking cult. You're in a cult. What do they say on My Favorite Murder? You're in a cult. Call your dad.
Call your dad.
Girl,
yeah.
Call your dad. You're in a fucking cult. So the year Ginni marries Clarence Thomas, and he's working for the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the EEOC. Yeah, I know. The EEOC, LOL. It just happened to take an interest in the role of, quote, new age groups in the workplace. What a coincidence. This thing that she's super passionate about just happens to get picked up by the EEOC the year she marries Clarence Thomas. And they start working on all these policy statements about new age training programs and how that conflicts with employees' religious beliefs and all this stuff. And it's just kind of the start of a really disturbing trend because now all these independent ethics organizations have noticed that Ginni Thomas, who is still a very busy activist, I'll just say, she lobbies for anti-abortion legislation. She lobbies against family and medical leave legislation. By the way, fuck people who don't want. What the fuck?
You don't care about families if that's what you're for.
Exactly. How can you be fucking quote unquote pro-life and you're against family and medical leave legislation? She's garbage. Anyway, gun rights, religious freedoms, all that shit. All of these cases go to the Supreme Court where her husband is sitting.
Right.
It's a big deal, And so the New Yorker recently did this article where they traced all these associations between Ginni Thomas and cases that then appear before the Supreme Court. And he always votes on her side. Always. And it's people have a right to be concerned. in that gross titled article, the one's like the nominee soulmate. Like, you know, they quote all these people who say the one person that Clarence Thomas really listens to is his wife. Like, he depends on her for advice. He listens to her. Her opinions matter to him, which, by the way, I would hope they would if you're
right.
married.
I mean, they are married. I would say that, yeah.
But he's a Supreme Court justice.
Right.
And it's like, this is so, and together, this couple, they believe that like women and minorities are hindered, not helped, by things like affirmative action or government programs. True equality is achieved by holding everyone to the same standard, you know, that kind of thing.
We're all given the same chance, sure.
Yes, exactly. We all just start at the same place. The translation is they're the type of people who think everyone has to struggle because they did. You know, the kind of people who get to the top and then pull the ladder up behind them.
Right,
you know?
right.
It sucks. So recently, Ginni Thomas has declared that America is in danger, girl. It's in danger, girl, because of the quote deep state, the fascist left, and transsexual fascists. We're the transsexual fascists. Yes. She's a founding member of a secretive far right group called Groundswell.
Groundswell?
Groundswell.
Okay.
They lobby against gay rights. She's aggressively pushed propaganda defending the anti-trans bathroom bills.
Oh, Jesus, she beat my head against the
She's
desk.
Awful. She sits on the advisory board for groups opposing affirmative action, and they've all gone before the Supreme Court, and you'll never guess which way her husband votes. On July 6, 2021, you know, there was the big storming of the Capitol, and
January.
Yeah. Did I say July?
You said July.
Sorry, January 6th. There was a riot here, or, you know, everyone stormed the Capitol. Not everyone, sorry. Trumpers stormed the Capitol. And, you know, she was doing the whole like, God bless each and every one of you, you know, for standing up and praying and blah, blah. And, you know, so now there's like over 700 people who have been charged with this. And she has filed an open letter calling for a congressional investigation, calling the congressional investigation like political persecution, you know.
Like, we're not supposed to investigate that?
No, she's an asshole.
For God's sakes.
Yeah. 8 days after the publication of her letter calling it, you know, political persecution, former President Donald Trump asked the Supreme Court to block the committee's request for his records.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, and then the court declined to they declined his request basically, but one justice voted for it. You'll never guess which one.
Okay, let me think. Sotomayor? No.
No.
What a dick.
He's such a dick.
Fucking dick.
He has never recused himself. By the way, Kagan has recused herself multiple times because she worked for the Obama administration. And when she even perceives there might be a slight like perception of bias on her part, she removes herself. He never removes himself. Never. She has made it very clear she opposes the Affordable Care Act. She's done a lot of work on that. A lot of things about Affordable Care Act go to the Supreme Court. What else? Most recently, she also has tried to get like some Black Lives Matter like banners taken down in their town in Virginia because it's they hate America.
Oh, fuck off.
I know. She's the worst.
Oh, I hate this woman.
She played her old "Do you know who my husband is" card with Florida governor and COVID super spreader Ron DeSantis because she wanted him to speak at like and I'm going to put this in quotes, a group of conservative patriots. Fuck you. Florida, by the way, one of the states again that sued Biden over vaccine mandates. Mm-hmm. Guess which way Thomas voted.
Yeah.
She sucks. They both do. And here's the thing, and she's not obligated to change her behavior.
Right. She's a citizen.
Yeah, she's a citizen. She can be as garbage as she wants. But he's a fucking Supreme Court justice, and he's supposed to be impartial. So
and he should be held to a higher standard than the rest of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how I feel too.
So I'm going to end this with a quote from Ellie Mistel. She's a reporter for The Nation, and she says, it is her husband, she's talking about Thomas, who has been elevated to a position of public trust. It is her husband who held himself out as an impartial arbiter of justice. It is her husband who has been morally unfit for the Supreme Court every single day he's been on it. And he's the one who should be investigated and called to answer for his ethical failings. So that's both of our creeps, really, Clarence Thomas and Ginni Thomas.
There's a lot of creeping going on in there, too. You mentioned Teddy Kennedy, early Biden creepiness. Strom Thurmond, he has to be on the list for one day.
We need to do Strom Thurmond.
That's got it. Yeah, we got to bump him up.
I'm going to say maybe next season we put Strom Thurmond on there because what a fucking creep. But Clarence Thomas and Ginni Thomas fucking suck too.
Yeah, they are. No, that was well done, Sonia. Well done. Are you ready to have a mood shift here? We're going to talk about a not creep this week.
I can't wait.
Okay. Our non-creep this week, and I think his name is pronounced Peter, it's either McIndoe or Macindoe. It's MC, capital Indoe. He's 23 years old, and he's originally from Cincinnati, grew up in a very religious home, homeschooled when homeschool was really like for religious kids. Mm-hmm. And he was taught like gay people are bad and wrong and all kinds of things. And somewhere around a few years ago, he started just seeking his own answers. And he's one of those people who went on the internet and actually found good information. Thank God.
What?
And he came around and he realized that he grew up basically in a cult, or it was cult-like behavior that was being reinforced. And he wanted to be on the side of good. He also is a comedian at heart he's obsessed with Sacha Baron Cohen and people like him that have a character that they take out in public. And he decided like he couldn't get an audition to be on The Daily Show or something like that. He just in his moment decided, I'm going to create my own YouTube. I'm going to put out videos on Instagram. And here's what he did. He went to a women's march, and it was in January of 2017, the same day they had one in San Francisco and New York and DC. It was huge. It was all around the world. He went to one I believe it was in Memphis, and he saw the signs. And there's the Trump people signs, and there's the sign work at these things are amazing.
It's the best part.
It's the best part. I mean, it's the people watching and the sign reading. It's just amazing. Yes. But he said he saw so many crazy signs, Hillary ate a baby at a Pizza Hut, like things like that. So he there was one sign that was kind of found on the ground, and he grabbed a marker and turned the sign around, and it was blank on the other side. And he just wrote, "Birds aren't real." And then he held it up. And when people asked him, what does that mean? He goes, man, the government got rid of all the birds decades ago. They have these they're set up to go after us. They're monitoring all of us. It's deep state shit, man. Didn't you know that? Birds don't migrate. The government takes them away. And then puts them with microphones and stuff. And people were like, holy shit, man. And he realized like he was really onto something. So he kind of plays this doofus, and he goes around America and he goes to all these marches. And
oh my God.
He put up billboard signs that say birds aren't real. And he has merch. Like, that's how he supports himself.
Oh my gosh. I think I need a shirt that says birds aren't real.
And you could you could definitely get a shirt or a mug or anything. And I supposedly am going to get something too, because I want to help support him. He's on Twitter, Birds Aren't Real. He's on Instagram. He's been interviewed by the New York Times. He was on Howard Stern this past week. That's how I heard about him. Mm-hmm. And he's so funny. And he goes on talk shows around the country, and he just plays this doofus. And the hosts are like, this is satire, right? You're just sort of, this is a goof. He's, no, I take great offense to that. It's real, man. And on one interview, he ate all this cold clam soup so that he would throw up on the air because he claimed, he had avian flu. He went to San Francisco and he went in front of the Twitter building to protest their use of a bird as the mascot. He goes on camera and says, how come the bald eagle is considered American? Have you thought about it? Why do we pick a bird? Why do we pick something? And that's our not creep this week. The bird